Hey there, have you ever found yourself in a quiet room, maybe at the library or during an important meeting, and your fingers suddenly felt a little stiff? And before you know it, you've popped a few knuckles and that resounding crack echoed throughout the room. Haha, I bet we've all been there, right? Now, I'm sure most of us have also heard warnings like, don't do that, you'll get arthritis, or you'll damage your hands. But what really happens when you crack your knuckles? Well, you're in the right place because we're diving into the science behind that satisfying, sometimes annoying, cracking sound. Now let's pop open some myths. There's a widely believed myth that cracking your knuckles leads to arthritis. But according to a study by Harvard Health Publishing, there's no concrete scientific evidence linking the two. Yes, you heard right, no direct link. Quite a relief, right? Did you know this myth started from a research study conducted in the 1990s that linked knuckle cracking to hand swelling and decreased grip strength? But in the ensuing years, more comprehensive studies, like the one by Harvard Health, have contradicted this claim. Interesting, isn't it? Now that we've busted the myths, let's get to the knuckle of the matter. What's going on with your knuckles when you crack them? You've got to understand, our knuckles are essentially the meeting point of two bones. These bones are not grinding against each other thanks to a soft cushioning called cartilage. Surrounding the joint is a capsule filled with synovial fluid, acting as a lubricant. This fluid is rich in nutrients, and its primary function is to reduce friction between the articular cartilages of synovial joints during movement. It's an amazing natural mechanism that keeps our joints healthy and functioning properly. But what about that distinctive pop sound? According to a study published in PLOS1, when you pull the bones apart, a gas bubble forms in the synovial fluid. This rapid bubble formation is what gives off that crackling sound. Pretty cool, isn't it? And here you were thinking it was your bones doing a solo percussion performance. Now, if you're wondering why every knuckle crack doesn't sound the same, well, that's because the intensity and duration of the pop can depend on several factors like the amount of synovial fluid present, the speed at which the joint is moved, and even the size of the joint. It's a real symphony of biological factors at play. Before we continue cracking into this subject, remember to hit that like button, share, and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing content. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a video. Oh, and I'd love to know, do you crack your knuckles often? Why or why not? Let's get a conversation going in the comments. Also, don't forget to check out the description box below for some useful resources. Now let's talk about the long-term effects of knuckle cracking. This is where things get a little controversial. Some studies suggest that frequent knuckle cracking might lead to hand swelling or decreased grip strength, but others say it doesn't cause any harm. There's still a lot of debate, and honestly, more research is needed to make a definitive statement. So don't go making any drastic changes just yet. And while we're on this topic, let's take a quick detour and talk about why some people seem to enjoy cracking their knuckles, while others, well, just don't. You see, there's this thing called joint manipulation, a practice used in physical therapy and chiropractic adjustments. It can create a similar cracking sound, and some people find it provides a sense of relief. It's all about releasing tension. So for some, cracking their knuckles might just be a way to get that mini stress relief. In fact, a 2011 study published in the Journal of Manipulative and Physiological Therapeutics found that joint cracking can increase the range of motion. So the next time you're about to give a big presentation or perform a task that requires dexterity, cracking your knuckles might just give you that extra edge. There's also a psychological aspect to consider. Some of us may find satisfaction in a routine, habitual, or sensory experience. It's a bit like popping bubble wrap. How many of you just can't resist those tiny bubbles? Exactly. Now let's do a bit of myth busting around another commonly held belief that the habit of knuckle cracking is indicative of a nervous personality. While it's true that some people might crack their knuckles out of nervousness, the same as someone else might tap their feet, it's by no means an established psychological or personality trait. So if someone tells you that your knuckle cracking habit means you're a bundle of nerves, you can tell them, well, science doesn't agree. By the way, did you know that there's a world record for knuckle cracking? Yes, you heard that right. According to Guinness World Records, the most knuckles cracked continuously is 36, achieved by Antonio D. Jimenez in 2019. Now, that's a lot of cracking. It's fascinating, isn't it? Even something as simple as cracking your knuckles can have its own place in the record books. But remember, folks, we're not encouraging anyone to break this record. It's just an interesting tidbit to share. Who knows? You might just become the life of the party at your next gathering, impressing everyone with your knuckle cracking facts and trivia. Now, if we're going to talk about knuckle cracking, we should also mention other joints. Many of you have probably experienced your knees, ankles, or neck cracking too. Just like with the knuckles, this is generally caused by the gas bubbles in the synovial fluid. However, if it's accompanied by pain, swelling, or an unusual amount of frequency, it could be a sign of something more serious, like arthritis or injury, and you should consult a medical professional. Alright, let's switch gears a bit. For those of you who are desperate to stop cracking your knuckles, or know someone who is, there are a few strategies you might try. One is to keep your hands occupied, with a stress ball, for instance. Another is to gradually reduce the number of times you crack your knuckles each day. Or you could try a reward system. Treat yourself every time you resist the urge to crack. Remember, it's all about forming new habits, and it takes time. So don't be hard on yourself if you find yourself slipping back into the routine of cracking your knuckles. Now let's get serious for a moment. Although cracking your knuckles doesn't seem to cause arthritis, that doesn't mean you should ignore your hand health. Other habits such as excessive typing without proper breaks or maintaining a poor posture while doing so can lead to conditions like carpal tunnel syndrome. Be mindful of how you use and rest your hands. Keep in mind that our hands, like any other part of our body, need rest and care too. Our hands are one of our primary means of interacting with the world, so it's important to keep them in top condition. Regular exercise can help maintain strength and flexibility, and moisturizing can prevent dry skin and joint discomfort. There are also specific hand and finger exercises that can help in improving strength and dexterity. Musicians, artists, and even gamers swear by them. So next time before you crack those knuckles, why not try stretching your fingers a bit? You might find it equally satisfying. If you're keen on getting those exercises right, there are several online tutorials and guides available that can assist you. Who knows, you might even discover a new pastime in the process. Now, the million-dollar question, should you stop cracking your knuckles? It's really up to you. If you find it relieving and it's not causing any pain, you're probably fine to keep doing it. But if it's bothering people around you, or if you're doing it so much that it's interrupting your daily activities, you might want to try some techniques to stop. To wrap things up, remember, there's a lot of snap, crackle, and pop going on when you crack your knuckles. But while it might annoy the person sitting next to you, current science suggests it's unlikely to cause any major harm. So keep doing you, whether that involves cracking your knuckles or not. Just remember, everything is good in moderation. So there you have it, folks. Cracking your knuckles is an intriguing habit full of pops, myths, and science. And whether you're a fan or not, remember, everyone's got their quirks. So let's be a little kinder to our fellow knuckle crackers out there. That's the beauty of human nature, isn't it? We are all unique with our little habits and quirks. But the most important thing is to respect each other's space and comfort. After all, it's these small gestures that make a big difference. Stay tuned for our next video. Don't forget to keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, the world is fascinating and full of surprises.